Welcome back to the 49ers Unscripted podcast. This week, super excited to be joined by 49ers offensive weapon, Kyle Juszczyk. Joining us on the pod. Juice, how you doing? How's everything treating you?
I'm doing great, and I love an introduction that doesn't define me as a fullback. Offensive weapon, I like that.
Yeah, you can't be defined just as a fullback, and that's perfectly what I wanted to talk about to get this started. It was imperative to have you on the pod this week following that Week 7 outing. Going into the game, we spoke with Patriots head coach Bill Belichick, and he was extremely complimentary of you, calling you the best fullback in the game. You solidified his statement, putting on a heck of a performance, not only as a ball carrier, not only as a run blocker, but also a pass catcher. I mean, all in all, that's why we can't just limit you to being a fullback. You do it all. But how would you assess your performance in Week 7?
It was good. Honestly, I was just having fun out there. I love being involved in so many different ways. So, like you said, getting the chance to carry the ball, to catch the ball, to have some critical blocks, all those kind of things. That's what I get up for. That's what gets me excited. I mean, you can see in the TV copies, I'm grinning from ear to ear. And, anytime I touch the ball or anytime I make a big block like that. So I have fun out there. And to get that kind of recognition from the opposing coach, and especially one like Bill Belichick, that definitely means a lot, because anytime your opponent can recognize, what kind of play you are, and especially when it's someone to the magnitude of Bill Belichick, that's legit. That's what you're trying to do.
And you said on Twitter, I believe, you said, when I'm in Massachusetts, the tight end in me likes to come out. What's up with that?
Yeah, for those who don't know, Harvard is in Massachusetts. I know not a lot of guys on the team knew where Harvard was at, but it was National Tight End Day, and George made me an honorary tight end, and I did play tight end in college, so just taking a little shot at my college days, and showing that I can perform as a tight end as well.
I called it National Fullback Day because I feel like your impact on the game goes beyond countable numbers, but you created a number of holes for the 49ers running backs, Jeff Wilson and JaMycal Hasty. 49ers saw their best rushing output of the season versus the Patriots. In a situation like we saw on Sunday, is this something that's Kyle Shanahan scheming it up? Is it the talent of the 49ers backup running backs? What led to the success on the ground that we saw last week?
It's definitely a combination of both those things. But really, I think the biggest thing was just the mentality. It was the mentality of our entire offense. I kept telling anybody that would listen to me when we went out there for warm-ups on Sunday, something just felt different. The energy in that locker room was different. And I knew when we stepped out there that we were going to bring it to them, and we were going to be the more physical team. Kyle talked about going into the game that it was going to be an ice bag game. Like, we were expecting this to be a slug match. And we came out there and we brought it to them before they could bring it to us. And I think that led to, some really good success running the ball.
All right, I want to talk about running the ball. Jeff Wilson Jr. in particular earned Pepsi Player of the Week. It was a career game for the former undrafted free agent. He stepped up in place of Raheem Mostert. Unfortunate ending to the game, but on the positive side, like Kyle Shanahan said, he won't be gone for too long. But what's been your impressions of Jeff and his ability to step up when called upon?
It's just, the crazy thing is that nobody in our building is surprised. Like, none of us are ever surprised when any of these backs come in and do what they do, whether it's been Jeff or Hasty or Jet or Raheem or Tevin. Like, every one of these guys, it's like, oh yeah, we see that in practice every day. We know he's going to do that. And Jeff, what I love about Jeff is that he never gets down, in the fact, like, early in the season, he's not high on the depth chart. Like, and he sees that and he recognizes that, but he never lets it get to him. Whenever he gets a moment to get called upon, he always answers. He did it in the Super Bowl last year. It's not like he's getting a ton of reps, but he got called on to run some choice routes, and he went out there and he made some big plays. Arizona last season, he played one snap, and it was the game-winning touchdown. So, like, he's just one of those guys that, you can always count on when he gets his number called. And everybody was just so happy for him to see him have, such a complete game like he did on Sunday.
Yeah, the running back group as a whole has taken some big hits this season due to injuries, but each guy has had to step up at some point in the year. But what's the mentality of this group? Just being able to continue to step up for one another when called upon?
We just all really love each other, and like we want to see everyone do good. And it's never one of those things that like, okay, I'm down, I don't want to see someone step in my place and do well. Like it couldn't be more of the opposite. When somebody goes down, we really want to see our brother go out there and do well, and we're all rooting for each other. So we're happy to see each other succeed.
So I want to know a little bit more about JaMycal Hasty. I mean, given this offseason, the 49ers fans weren't given much of a chance to get to know him, but Sunday was his biggest outing so far this season. Tell us a little bit about JaMycal and what makes him such a good fit for this group.
He's been so impressive to me. He's been a student of the game. Like anytime we're in meetings, if he gets called upon, it's an instant answer and it's correct and it's precise. And he's not one that, goes around and talks too much. He's kind of that rookie who sits back and kind of, he talks when you speak to him. But he also has been super impressive on the field with just, he probably has the best feet in our running back group out of anybody, which is a lot to say because there's some good footwork in our room, but he has the quickest feet. This guy can stop on an absolute dime. And I promise you, when we do one-on-ones with our linebackers, nobody is jumping to the front of the line to try and cover him. He does some special things in one-on-ones. And he fits right into the group. He kind of he goes by everyone else's examples ahead of him. And he's just been consistent every single day.
We talked to Hasty last week where we got to discuss how he ended up with the 49ers. And his biggest thing was his eagerness to play under Coach Bobby Turner, former Falcons assistant general manager and now NFL Network Scott Pioli. He wrote a whole piece on Coach Turner and how he's been successful with his running backs, his old school style, no nonsense, but a very positive and process driven coach. Tell us a little bit about Coach Bobby T and what makes him one of the best out there.
Bobby T is the absolute best, and he's so underrated. And just you don't hear about him. He's kind of in the shadows a lot, but he really is what holds our group together. I think the biggest thing about him is he holds us all so accountable. Other position groups, they see us, we're mid practice, and Bobby T's quizzing us on what we got in the next play. And other position groups are looking at us like, oh my gosh, like you guys got it rough. But really, like we love it. He keeps us on on our assignments. We never go out there and don't know what we're doing. And I think that's why we're able to play so freely and play so fast. You see with every one of us, everybody just plays fast and you never see any hesitation. And I think that's because Bobby T holds us so accountable. But we also, when we're in our meeting group, we like to cut it loose. Like we have fun with each other because we know when we do things right on the field, we can relax a little bit when we're in the meeting rooms. And that's where you really get that bond and you grow as a group because you're getting your job done and you're having fun with each other.